Hey guys, this video is about angle relationships formed by a transversal. And in case you don't already know what a transversal is, here are two examples for you right here. So this line would be a transversal because it cuts through two parallel lines. And this line right here would also be a transversal because it cuts through two non-parallel lines. So transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines. So in case you didn't already jot that down, we're going to keep going with this same type of chart. So we got a transversal, which is a line intersecting two or more lines, but in our class we're going to only really use two lines for now. And then I've drawn it over here in red is the example of a transversal. When you have a transversal that cuts through two lines, a bunch of special angle relationships are formed. And that's what this whole video is about. So there's going to be a lot of vocabulary. It's going to be up to you guys to practice these, study these words, and remember the difference. So the second vocab word is corresponding angles. And those are two non-adjacent angles on the same side of the transversal. And here they are right here. So these two blue angles would be corresponding. Then we have alternate interior and alternate exterior angles, which sound very similar. And you probably guessed the main difference is that these are on the interior, which would be on the inside of the two lines, and alternate exterior would be on the outside of the two lines. So I would maybe add that in interior, exterior, meaning the inside and the outside. Because they're both alternate, they're on alternating sides of the transversal. So one's on the left, one's on the right, if you want to think of it that way. But they're not on the same side of the transversal like the corresponding angles were. The fifth word is consecutive interior angles, and those are still two non-adjacent angles they're both on the interior. So again, here's the interior in between the two lines, but this time they are on the same side of the transversal, like this. Go ahead and jot down this example. Make sure when you do this that you number your angles exactly the same way that I have numbered my angles, because we're going to look at special types of relationships between these angles, and you want to make sure that they're numbered just like mine. Part A says comparing angles 1 and 5. So here's angle 1 and here's angle 5. So the two questions that you want to ask yourself: one, are they on the same side of the transversal? In this case, yes, they're both on this side of the red line. Second question would be, are they both on the interior? Are they both on the exterior? Or is one on the interior and one on the exterior? So I notice angle 5 is on the interior of the two lines that are not the transversal, but angle 1 is on the exterior. So that means they can't be consecutive interior, they can't be alternate interior, they can't be alternate exterior, so that means they must be corresponding. Another way that you could think of corresponding angles are like they're in the same location. So if I look at all the two groups of 4 angles, angle 1 is in like the upper left-hand position. And so is angle 5. So those are corresponding. 2 and 8. So angles 2 and 8 are both on alternating sides of my transversal, because 2 is on this side and 8 is on this side. They're both on the exterior of the two lines that are not the transversal. So those two angles would need to be alternate exterior. Go ahead and see if you can get part C, angles 3 and 6. Which vocabulary word would describe those relationships? If you need to flip back to your chart, go ahead and do that. If you guess consecutive interior angles, then you are correct, because they're both on the same side of the red line, the transversal, and they're both on the interior of the two other lines. Go ahead and jot down these questions, and then I'm going to hop back up to the diagram so we can go through a couple of these together. Okay, the next question asks us to look at angles 3 and 5. So again, those are both on the interior, but they are on alternating sides of this transversal. So 3 and 5 would be alternate interior angles. Part E is asking us about 1 and 7. So 1 and 7 are, again, just like 3 and 5, they're on alternating sides of the transversal, but instead of being on the interior, they are both on the exterior. So 1 and 7 would be alternate exterior angles. Six and 2, kind of like example A. See if you can go ahead and answer the rest of the questions. You can enter them into the Edpuzzle questions that are about to pop up right now.